In this presentation, we're going to create a vertical analysis income statement. Let's zoom into it with Xero. Here we are in the Xero Demo Company dashboard. We're going to be opening up our major financial statements, those being the balance sheet and income statement, although of course we will be focusing in on the income statement here. I'm going to be going to the accounting dropdown. We'll open up the balance sheet. As the balance sheet opens, or when it opens, I'm going to be right-clicking on the tab up top. We're going to duplicate the tab up top. Then we're going to go back to the tab to the left. We're going to go back to the accounting dropdown and open up the other one that we're going to be working on. This is the main one we're going to be working on, the income statement. We're going to open up the income statement. Then I'm going to duplicate the tab again by going to the tab up top, right-clicking on it, and then duplicating that tab. So now I have the income statement and the balance sheet, so we can compare and contrast those two. We will be manipulating the income statement, so then I like to make another copy of the income statement just so I have a comparison, so I can go back to the comparative one if I need to when we start to change it. So I'm going to right-click on it and duplicate that one. So now we got the balance sheet, the income statement one we're not going to change, and then this second one, that's the one we're going to change. So I'm going to make this a vertical analysis income statement. We're going to make this a vertical analysis income statement. It's going to be great. And then we're going to change the dates up top. I want to make it as of last year because I think we ran the other reports as of 2019. So I'm going to select the drop down and we're going to be bringing this back to the last fiscal year, January 2019 through December 2019. I'm going to change the name up top because I always forget to do that if I don't do it like first. I'm going to call this a vertical analysis. Note that there's no like spell check in this field. So just, if you want to type, I would type it into Word first and then into here just to make sure I spell it right. But in any case, there's the vertical analysis. And then we're going to adjust this. So what's going to happen with the vertical analysis? I'm going to hold down Control, scroll up just a bit, get it up to that 125. That's where I like to be. And what we want for the vertical analysis, what we're imagining here is having another column. The other column is going to be all percentages. We did a horizontal analysis before, comparing one year over another year or one period to another period. This time, comparing everything to the kind of like the objective of the financial statement or the objective of the income statement, that being to generate revenue. So what we want to see is every other line item as compared to revenue. So and all the other line items basically are expenses. So we're thinking about, what's the relationship between the expense items to the goal, the objective of the time period, revenue generation. And that's going to be one kind of ratio that we can use, very useful for us to compare to other companies. For example, if we're comparing from like a small burger company to McDonald's, we can't compare McDonald's because they make too much money to the small burger company. But if we do a vertical analysis like this, then we can like look at the ratio and we can hopefully glean some information from that to better benchmark and plan for the future. So what we do to do that is we're going to go down to the edit layout down below, and we're going to be adding another column this time. This time we're not going to put the formula in place. I'm going to delete the changes I did before. So all we have is this. That looks right. Then I'm going to add a column. Now we're not going to do the formula kind of manually here. We're going to be using the percentage. So I'm just going to use the percentage down here. And then I choose the columns that we want to be dealing with. It's going to be obviously 2019 we're going to be dealing with. And then the row as a percentage of, and we want to take the income. So we want to take everything as of income. So what we're saying is each line item we want to take as of a percentage of the income line item, right? The total income. And so then I'm going to rename this, and this is going to be, I'm going to call it 2019 percentage of income. That's pretty good. Let's keep it at that. That's the default setting. I'll say 2019 percentage of income. All right, let's say done. And there we have it. So notice line 1, because it's income, total income is divided by itself, there's 100%. Then we have the cost of goods sold compared to income. In other words, the cost of goods sold 1500 divided by compared to 23,427.43, and that if we move the decimal over is the 6.4% about, right? And so we're comparing everything to income. So if we take the other line item, the 7,000, this 7953.75 divided by income 23,427.43. 3. Okay. That's going to be the 33.95 if I move the decimal over 2 places. So that, again, very useful to have these percentages when I'm comparing to another company. If I compare this to another company, the dollar amounts aren't going to be useful or helpful if the other company is larger or smaller than us. We're typically benchmarking to someone larger than us, and so those overall numbers aren't going to help us. But the percentages are something that could help us. Is McDonald's spending 33% of their revenue on advertising or not? That might, is it I compare that to the industry averages and whatnot, and see what chunks of our money are being spent as related to the total income line. So I'm also going to remove the decimals here because that has been our custom. So I'm going to go back up top and go to the report settings. I'm going to remove the decimals so we don't have the decimals there, and update that. See what we have. That looks pretty good. Now let's do our custom of printing this out. So I'm going to save it and print it. So I'll actually copy the report up top. I'm going to copy the name, and then I'm going to go to the save and put it in the custom field. I'm going to call it that. I'm not going to check that box off. I'm going to say save. Then I double check that has been saved in the custom reports by going to the first tab, then go into the accounting, down to the report. Actually, I don't need to go down. The reports are on top. So don't go down. You could stay at top and get the reports. And then we're going to go to the custom. So we'll be in the custom, and then we have the vertical analysis income statement. Looks like it's showing up there. If we want to be in the favorite reports, we can put it up top with the star. That'll put it up in the reports up top. Then we're going to go back to the prior tab. Now let's go ahead and print this out as has been our custom. I'm going to save it as a PDF file. So we'll open it up as the old PDF file. I'm going to save that into section 3. It opens up down there. I'm just going to drag that on in to where we want it to be. And that'll be over here. And so then I'm going to rename it. So I have the demo company. I'm going to rename, and I'm going to call it a vertical analysis income statement. There we go. And then I'm also going to export it. So I'm going to export it to Excel. And so there it is. It's going to show up down here. And I want to include it in this Excel item. So I'm not gonna save it over here. I'm just gonna open up this Excel, and then I'm gonna add it. I'm gonna add it to that one. So here's the Excel sheet that we want to add it to. So we have our 3 tabs down below. I'm gonna minimize this. This one is the last report. I'm gonna close that. Then I'm gonna open this one up. So I'm gonna open this one up that we just exported. Enable the editing on it, and bring it on down so we can see it here. Then I'm going to copy the whole thing by selecting the triangle, or Control A, right click, and copy. Then I'm going to minimize this, and I'm going to open up a new tab over here. So I'm going to open up a new tab, and I'm going to double click on the name, call this a vert analysis income statement. And then I'm going to put my cursor on A1, right click, and paste it. There it is. I can increase the size. I'm going to make it to like the 150. I'm going to see if it fits on one page by going to the page layout view and then back over. And so that looks like it looks pretty good. Now I'm going to print all of these at one time. So again, if I wanted to print these out, I can print them all at one time. So I don't have to worry about collating. I can just print the whole thing, or I can save it as a PDF and attach it with the one attachment. So let's do that. We're going to go to the File tab. We're going to go to the Print. You do need some kind of PDF printer. With a Qt PDF printer is one you could search for in order to do that. It should be free. Drop down here. We don't want just a sheet, but the entire workbook. That's the key. Entire workbook. 4 pages are in the current workbook. They all look like they're printing up. This last one, I don't like. It's cutting the name off. Let's fix that. That's no good. That's no good. It's unacceptable. That will not be accepted. So I could go ahead and go up top and make this a little longer. That's what we've been doing to fix that. Does that fix it? No, there's still another name there. It's a large name. There it is. It's still within a page. So I think that's acceptable. So then we're going to go back to the File tab. We're going to go back down to the Print. And it's at the Qt PDF printer. We got the entire workbook. If I go through them this time, and it looks like they're all printing on properly. All right, so let's go ahead and print it. It's going to ask us where do we want to put it, and we're going to tell it. I'll show you where we want it. We want it right there, and I'm just going to overwrite that report. So I'm going to say save. It's going to overwrite that report, and there we have that. That should be good. So this is where it put it. I'm going to go to the View tab, Going to make it large so we can see this. So here's our vertical analysis. I'm going to put that over here. So if we're going to give this to somebody, we can attach these 3 files, or we can print these 3 files if we so choose, or we can zip this file and attach simply the compressed file to an email or something like that. Or we can print them all from the Word document without having to worry about collating. Or we can print it from the PDF file, or simply email just this one PDF file, which should have all reports on it. We can just kind of list the reports that are going to be in there in the email and just be like, they're all in this one PDF file, which is like kind of impressive.